Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Monday, the 10th of July, 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories translated into English 6 days a week. The reform of the public administration is considered to be one of the most important and most difficult of upcoming reforms for Albania. During the conference on the progress of reform in the civil service and EU support, the EU ambassador for Albania, Rama, Vlahutin, spoke about progress regarding civil service reform. She said that the reform in the public administration is one of the 5 key integration priorities for the opening up of negotiations and positively assessed the progress the government has made so far. The civil service reform is one of the most significant reforms. It serves not only to the capacity building of human resources or to the improvement of services to citizens, but also to the fight against corruption and nepotism. The reform on public administration is one of 5 crucial priorities. The reform of administration is even ranked amongst the 3 most crucial priorities according to citizens, together with the reforms on the justice and education systems. All 3 sectors, without corruption, will contribute positively towards a strong economy and to attracting foreign investments. The new government must work hard in this direction so that the administration is ready when negotiations start. The EU is looking forward to cooperating with the new government, and it will be totally committed to providing assistance in the transformation of the public administration, said Vlahutin. The Minister for Innovation and Public Administration, Milena Harito, informed that a civil servants register will be created and will contain full data records on every civil servant in Albania. A big change has been made in the way recruitment is done in the civil service. However, the civil service makes up only 10 to 15% of the public administration. We have reformatted a part of the public administration, but it is still a small part. For the first time, we have included a career system to the civil service, which, in fact, is very important for civil service employees' motivation, declared the minister, adding that the government has also focused on modernisation and digitalisation of the administration. Prime Minister Rama has been in Turkey on an official visit since yesterday. He met with the Turkish president, with whom he discussed the collaboration between the 2 countries, especially regarding the development of the Vlora airport and an Albanian airline company. Today, the Albanian Prime Minister participated at the World Petroleum Congress, which is being held in Istanbul. Addressing the participants, the Prime Minister emphasised that Albania is being transformed into a new oil frontier. We have an increased oil production and of refining capacities. We are encouraged by the presence of Shell and of the discovery of a gas resource in Albania. Can Albania be the next oil frontier? Our country has large unexploited resources that make us potentially a new oil frontier. Over the decades, oil has been a great source of development in Albania. Due to the increased need for more energy, we have come to realise that not only do we have to step up our efforts for efficiency and diversification, but we also have to come to an understanding that we must act together. Cooperation with private companies is very important to ensure stable and steady growth of the oil sector. Our government considers the energy sector a strategic one. The main focus is to increase the security of energy supply for Albanian consumers and to continue the progress towards greater integration of the Albanian energy market into our regional Western Balkan market and, more broadly, European markets. The petroleum industry as the main part of the energy sector in Albania is very important due to a number of factors, and I would like to emphasise as very important the fact that Albania is located at a crossroads between East and West, like a true bridge. Because of our geographical position, Albania will sit at one of the most important energy routes in the world, the TAP pipeline, declared the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Rama has announced the opening of the online portal where meetings with citizens and supporters will be presented in order to receive an opinion for the governing platform. Prime Minister Rama invites all Albanian citizens to become part of the co-governance platform Together for the Albania We Want at http://shqipria.al, asking the citizens to give their opinions and feedback. The co-governance platform is a communication and interaction tool for citizens to discuss important reforms and measures political and governmental concerns, fight corruption together, share any bad experiences, and report cases of professional misconduct by officials in the public administration offices across the country. The new government will be in a real coalition with the common people. The Albania we want is above the left and right-wing parties. The state we want is for the citizens, not for the politicians. The challenges of Albania are not socialist or democrat challenges, but Albanian challenges. Aware of the great responsibility bestowed upon us, the new government will rule together with the common people of this country in a joint effort to make a better Albania, emphasised the new webpage. Candidate for DP chairman Lulzim Basha was in Diber, where he held meetings with Democratic Party supporters. According to Basha, the majority is fictitious because it does not reflect the citizens' will, but the deformation of their will through the buying of votes. My project for Albania is a government that allows citizens the opportunity to live with dignity in their houses, without the need to seek asylum in another country. To create the opportunity to have a job here in Albania and live without fear of those in power. To give the opportunity to decide freely, to vote freely, for the government they want. The government did everything to hamper this project through vote buying with money coming from drugs, declared Mr. Basha. Also holding meetings with the citizens of administrative units number 8 and 9 in Tehran, Mr. Basha said that the union of all Democrats is the only way to recover and to return to power. He went on to declare in a speech, "I am not here to ask for any privilege from you. I am here to continue my personal sacrifice, which I am doing with great pleasure, in order to continue this battle for free and fair elections for all Albanians." The candidate for DP chairman, Edward Selami, continued on his campaign trail today by holding meetings with the Democrats of Peshkopia, Bulqiza and Mat, where he reiterated that he will return democracy to the Democratic Party. Discussing the fact that the Democratic Party has suffered 3 losses in a row, Mr. Selami declared that if an analysis is not made, the defeats will continue. According to Selami, Basha's model is an old model which does not respect the institutions within the party. For this reason, Mr. Selami promised that future decisions will be made by all members of the party. Mr. Selami has expressed his opinions against the idea of co-governing with the Socialist Party. If the opportunity to make a coalition with the government arises, I am against. I will give up my mandate, though I will remain in the Democratic Party, declared Selami. He added that the only way to recover the Democratic Party is to return to Western values, giving internal democratic values to the party itself. Fires resulting from extremely high temperatures continue to be a threat throughout Albania. There have been 15 fires reported all over Albanian territories, such as in Fier, Durrës, Vlorë, Gjirokasta, Elbasan, Berat, Diber and Shkodër, just in the past 24 hours. The emergency service says that firefighting teams have worked throughout the night to extinguish flames, despite the difficult terrain they are faced with. 175 firefighting teams, along with 50 military forces and volunteers, have all worked through the night to extinguish fires, although the rugged terrain did not make it an easy fate. Civil emergency specialists continue to closely monitor the situation in the country, since the risk of new fires erupting remains imminent due to the high temperatures expected over this week. The Civil Emergency General Directorate reiterates its call on citizens to report any possible signs of fire to the emergency numbers 112 or 129, or to call the National Operational Centre for Civil Emergencies. This week has started with high temperatures. The African heat has evolved all around the country, and temperatures are expected to soar above 38 degrees Celsius. A meteorologist from the Institute of Geosciences told an Aura News journalist that temperatures will decrease by only 2 to 3 degrees Celsius on Wednesday and will continue until the end of the week. The meteorologist adds that the high temperatures add greater risk of fires and for the drying of natural resources. The month of August is expected to be more problematic regarding the hydroelectric situation, with expectations that the whole country will suffer from the absence of water due to the drying of natural resources. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health has publicised some recommendations about the way people should protect themselves from the African heat that has evolved around the country. According to the ministry, citizens should avoid exposure to the sun from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. and, when outside, should stay in fresh and well-ventilated places. The ministry also recommends putting up dark curtains in windows that offer sun exposure. The ministry calls on citizens to drink as much water as possible, whilst reminding them not to drink water that is too cold or carbonated, as they offer little hydration possibilities. The ministry urges people to consume as many meals as possible, but in small quantities and with easily digestive ingredients. The ministry also advises people to wear light clothes with light colours to reflect the sunlight. According to doctors, the medical condition heat stroke manifests with headaches, vomiting, weak immunity, and an increase of body temperature, and can have a devastating impact, especially to people with chronic diseases, pregnant women, children, and the elderly. We urge all citizens and visitors to Albania this summer to take care in these extreme conditions. That's all for our English edition this evening. My name is Alexandra. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. On behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.